what happened. Okay,
Okay.
let's start. I'll just start with the text. I mean, we're sort of like, testing it out. We'll see how this is going to work. Okay, so this new shir, Mitzvah Shem, is in a sefer which is called Eitzas HaMevorois, the explained advice, in which the original sefer is Likutei Eitzas, and this is expounding on it, and it's a little bit more, wider. And so I'll read the text. It's a little longer, but it's not complicated. And then we can talk about it. Can ask whatever we can ask and see who is who and what. Let's see here. Okay. All right. This sefer is divided by letters. It's indexed according to letters. We're starting with Emes and Amuna. And it says the following. The main Geula depends on Amuna, because the main exile is only because of lack of Amuna. Meaning, the Geula will come when the people of Israel will strengthen themselves in true Emunah, will believe that everything that is happening in the world, generally in the macro, everything that happens with the personal, with every person in the micro, Sai, Yisurim Chas Chalila, suffering, Lo Aleinu, and Rachvos, and easiness and wideness and plenty, they all come from the Ashkocha Protes V'Kodesh Baruch Hu. It does not come from Derech HaTeva. It's not a natural phenomenon. Kodesh Baruch Hu wants it. This is what is happening. Not only this, and people will further believe that everything that the Kodesh Baruch Hu deals with a person is only Latriva. As Chazal said in Maseches Brachas in the Zohar, Kol ma David Rachmana L'Tavavid. Everything Kodesh Baruch Hu does, he does for good. Which means everything Kodesh Baruch Hu does with his servants is a Tova Gmura, it's a total, complete goodness. It says also for Emes, especially Likut Alochas, that when a person is going through Yisurim Lo Aleinu, Kodesh Baruch Hu sends to a person is in order to wake him up, that he should come back from the wrong way. It said in Likut Maharan, in Siman Reish Vav, Chelek Aleph, I have lost my way like a sheep that gone lost, as Rabbeinu says. Tasha v'noshadako, Rashi says, you will, deal with a person adako, dichtu chashal nefesh, when the nefesh is suffering. This is all in order to call people to come back to Kodesh Baruch Hu. Kodesh Baruch Hu is lo aleinu achmon litzlan, sending even hard yisurim on a person. Through them, he warns him to come back from his bad ways. And the hefech, when Kodesh Baruch Hu is mashpia goodness on a person, it's also to test the person if he's going to believe that all the goodness, all the chasadim comes from the Ashkocha Pratis, Hashem Yisbarach, and he shouldn't think that it's because he is extra talented, self-made man or whatever. And additionally, one should believe that anybody who is transgressing any of the mitzvahs of the Torah because of leitzanos akfirs, because he thinks he's being funny, or because of lack of heresy, he will be punished. It seems as if people who are making averas, do not get punished. They're very successful. They're all they're healthy in body, they're nasa, and we should know and believe that the atzloch of all those who are actually doing averas lo aleinu is just an isoyan to the true ma'aminim, to the true people who are Yerushalayim. If they're going to hold themselves in the way of the emes, even though that they see that the avera does not hurt right then and there. Meidach, somebody is doing, is behaving properly the right way, he doesn't succeed immediately. But the truth is that Kadosh Baruch Hu will not give favor to the Leitzonim, to the clowns, to those who make fun, to the heretics, when they transgress the mitzvahs of Torah. Kadosh Baruch Hu is not going to forgive their Leitzonos and their sneer and to the truth and the real emunah. And if they will not have charata, they will not regret their bad ideas and bad ways, it will not turn to the real emunah, to the kima Torah, Shem Rachem, they will end up being punished in a very severe punishments, in their perceived so-called success will turn over to tremendous problems and yisurim. Hashem Yirachem, it says in Mizmor Shiva Shabbos, Yifroch Reshaim Kamo Esev, when the wicked they multiply like the weeds of the field. Yatzitzu Kol Palei Oven, they're all those who do wrong come up, Lisham Dem Al Deyad, to be lost forever and ever. In other words, the big atzlocha of the Palei Oven is in order for them to be lost forever. Am Yisrael will get to this emunah. Am Yisrael will get to this emunah, and even if it's just one congregation will get to this emunah, the vadai, the true geula, will come closer. Said the Zohar, b'knish l'chado means just one congregation of people will get together and will get to true emunah. The vadai, the geula will come. Also, when we're talking about the exile privately, every single Jew is in distress, and he's pressed, and he is he's depressed, and he's worried, and has all kinds of questions and sfeikis, and the bitterness of the adventures that go on him with his life. We're talking about bodily health, parnasa, or anything else. So the people of his household, everything, all this comes because of Chisaron Emunah Shgocha Potis. But the person doesn't believe that everything that happens with him, if it's Yisurim, if it's Archovas, everything is done by Shgocha Potis of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and not Al Pi Derech HaTeva. And he doesn't believe that nothing can save him from these Yisurim except the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And really, no matter what the person do, in a natural way, is not going to help. Kadosh Baruch Hu does not want the mightiness of a horse. Rebbe Shulchan would say he doesn't want, the size of a person. In other words, the strength of a person. Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want people to rely on natural reasons. Kadosh Baruch Hu wants those who fear him, those who wish for the Chesed of Hashem. I mean, the Kodesh Baruch Hu Kaviyachol wants for us to believe in His Hashgacha Pratis, or trust Him, and we'll keep on hoping for Kodesh Baruch Hu's Chesed. But because there's a lack of emunah in Hashgacha Pratis, and because people are saying that things are happening because of natural reasons, not they're saying they're not because Kodesh Baruch Hu wants it, there's no goodness comes out of it. And when the people do the natural ishtadlus, and it doesn't help, people fall into mashkara, depression, which is the biggest exile there is, all Islam. And all this comes because of a lack of a solid emunah in Hashgacha Pratis. In other words, you're not asking Kadosh Baruch Hu for Yeshua and Rachamim in every single thing that you need. But a person has a complete emunah, as we said before, is saved from all kinds of exiles, in macro and micro. At the beginning, main geula is the result of emunah. Ad kan ois aleph. Okay, the podium is open. Anybody can say what they want and what you think. You can ask.
I wanted to ask.
Huh?
The opposite of emuna is leitzonus, and if yes, what that means leitzonus? So something what we could understand about.
Okay, it's an excellent question. Leitzonus is when people make fun of Kodesh Baruch Hu, of the Torah, of the people who keep the Torah. And the reason that they do it is because of lack of emunah. And this is a very, very insidious and poisonous form of lack of emunah. Because as Chazal said, that one leitzonus pushes away 100 admonishments. You can talk to a person and convince him to do the right thing and to come close to Kodesh Baruch Hu and keep the Torah. Go and open up your microphone, Rumi. So one little joke pushes away all. You can spend hours with a person, talking to him, convincing him, and one joke punctures his whole balloon and just ruins the whole thing. Leitzanas is like the worst, the most poisonous form of and it comes out of lack of emunah. Those are my 10 cents.
Where it's nogia to us more as religious people, where we have emunah, we also need to know how much really it's leitzonos and how much is happiness. Or I mean to say, not every joke is leitzonos, and not right. Where it's talking to us really more is
okay. It's a very good question. When somebody asked me today, I had it was yesterday, I think yesterday. I had a couple of guys coming to my door, collecting money. I know one of them. And they spoke about, the Torah's manis of Breslov now is Torah Yud Beis in the second Chelik, and it says that Kadosh Baruch Hu created everything for his covet. V'chol nikra b'shmi v'lechludi b'rati tzartiv asativ. And they said that every single, there's a covered prati for everything, and everything is created in this world is created for a specific covered of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So he asked, he says, what does it mean, the covered HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Are we talking about the neshama in covered HaKadosh Baruch Hu? So I said, the covered HaKadosh Baruch Hu is what Rabbeinu writes in Torah Yud Beis, there that look into everything that you do, that it should be befitting the covet of HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Mhm.
And if there's a covet of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in it, do it. If there isn't, then don't do it. That's Pshat HaKavet of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You want to know what is the actual covet of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when you're saying Kriyat Shema every single day, Baruch Shem Kvod Malchusoi La'olam V'od. Says Baruch Shem Kvod Malchuto. In other words, the Shem is the outside, right? Is the Malchut, is the Kavod, is the outside. Because you only call a person by name from the outside. The person doesn't have a name from the inside. It says, so Baruch Shem of the Kavod, of the Malchut, of HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'olam V'od. So you turn to the Achitzoniyut Shebachitzoniyut Shebachitzoniyut, the outside of the outside of the outside. So you want me to explain to you what Kodesh Baruch Hu? What do I know?
Mhm.
But Lemaise, the answer to your question is simply this: if you are saying something to be funny
Mhm.
and to be besimcha, and your kavana is, to be besimcha, to make others besimcha,
Mhm.
then it's wonderful.
Mhm.
But the minute the Rabbeinu says, that there are three conditions
Mhm.
to being funny.
Mhm.
There should be no nibul peh chas v'chalila l'shanara.
Mhm.
That it shouldn't be on somebody else's expense,
Mhm.
and you shouldn't say it in order to show everybody how absolutely smart and wonderful you are. He says, now go ahead and joke.
Mhm.
Rabbi Nachman says that simcha is such a hard thing to achieve that it is not possible to achieve it without jokiness, without making oneself silly.
Mhm.
That's fine. It doesn't mean, adrabah verkehrt, when people take seriousness is like a one-way street towards depression.
Mhm. Wow.
Well, you
Mhm.
come to a person, he says, like, listen, seriously.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Mhm. Scary.
Yeah, you got to somebody who says, like, I got a serious thing to talk to you about.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Not now.
You know?
Mhm.
Adrabah verkehrt. There's a big inyan in jokiness,
Mhm.
kedusha, very milyonim me'od.
Mhm.
Just do not make fun of somebody else. Definitely do not make fun of not the Kadosh Baruch Hu, and not the Torah, and not Yirei Hashem. Other than that, go ahead, let it rip, by all means.
So that's not Leitzonus.
No. Leitzonus is when you're making fun of something. This is Kol Eitzonos Asura. La halacha says
Over the door.
is Asur, except Leitzonos Avodah Zarah.
Mhm.
Making fun of Avodah Zarah. This is allowed. Everything else.
Mhm.
So that's as far as this is concerned.
Okay.
Anybody, what says you? We're talking about we learned here Eitzos Mevoros that all the tzaras come from lack of emunah b'shgacha pratis. All the Yeshuas are, and ultimate geula depends on emunah and shgacha pratis.
Mhm.
And if a person does any kind of avera out of leitzonos of heresy, a person should not make a mistake that the Kadosh Baruch Hu will forgive him for that.
Mhm.
If a person does not make tshuva on that, Shem Yirachem, a person will suffer great yisurim for this.
Mhm.
This is a very serious matter. Excuse me for saying that.
Mhm.
But be that as it may, so this is it. What do you say? What do you think? What do you ask?
Yeah.
Reb David, Shalom Aleichem. Good to see you. Reb David? Don't shut your microphone. Talk to us. Yes.
There's too many kids. Too many kids in the background.
Okay, in the
Kids
meantime,
in the background making noise.
okay, so you can say what you want to say, and then you can put it back on mute.
He's saying what he wants.
That's right. That's right.
He doesn't have no kashas in the moon.
No kashas.
No, no.
Oh, Hashem.
No, Hashem.
Oh, the discussion.
Oh,
Hello,
David.
I'm back.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi. What's
Erev Tov. Oh, Baruch Hashem. Hello, everybody.
hello?
How's this?
So go ahead. I mean, this is a let's just here's a guy.
Okay,
I'm
so that
shy.
I want to put up a question, and I
Okay.
know that there's a difference, but Rabbeinu is saying here that everything is Kalim and Emunah. But we know that there's another part of Emunah which we call Bitachon,
Okay.
right? Okay. So I don't know, maybe it's my own concept, maybe it's the true concept, but as I perceive, to a certain degree, Bitachon is sort of like what's going forward, and Muna is partially. I wouldn't say it's completely like this, but sort of Bitachon is maybe something going forward, like not now, but in the future, or the future outcome of things, as opposed to Muna is more of something in the past to a certain degree. I don't know, maybe this is a differentiation I made in my mind,
Okay.
but sort of like Bitachon is like your faith in Hashem and how you go forward, and sort of like Emunah is like, I don't know, maybe that's something in my mind, but could be. But my question is Bitachon, and what we call Bitachon, and the working on Bitachon, how does that differentiate from Emunah? And
Okay.
is that also what Rebbeinu calls Emunah? What's
Okay. It's an excellent question. Excellent question. This is one of the most fundamental things that we need to know, and the answer to this is as follows. Hold on just one second. Just hold on. I see here. Okay. Hold on just one second. Give me a sec. I have to learn how to do this here. Just a second. No. Wait. Give me a second. Okay, I'm not sure exactly how to do this. Be that as it may. Okay. So the answer is actually very, very simple. Bitochen is applied emuna. That's the answer. Bitochen is emuna l'maisa. Emuna is where in theory, what they call begadol. You know, you believe, oh Hashem, everything is there.
How much?
Emuna is talking the talk. Bitochen is walking the walk. It's exactly the same thing, except bitochen is when the emuna, when the pedal hits the metal and push comes to shove, and you're supposed to behave according to that. Emuna and bitochen are one thing, except this is in theory and this is the maisa.
Can you give an example, Rabbi?
I'm sorry?
Could you give an example of
Yeah.
that?
Well, it's very simple. When a person believes that everything is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and a person is davening Shmoneh Esrei, and when he's davening Shmoneh Esrei, then he walks back and he steps on somebody's foot. That person says, "Whoa, watch where you're going, man." So you say to him, you just said, "V'nafshi ka'afal achol tiyeh." My nefesh should be like sand for everybody to step on. You just said to Kodesh Baruch Hu. So that, listen, this I told Kodesh Baruch Hu. I didn't tell you. Nafshi ka'afal tiyeh, I told Hashem. You get off my. That shot. The difference in Emuna and Bitochen. When in America they have this really it is a leitzonos. It is a lemaisa leitzonos, but nevertheless it's something that could be said in a sense, because that's not the people actually mean. But they say that you need to have bitochen and $100,000 in the bank for yesa bitochen. So, just to make sure. That's exactly the opposite. I mean, whatever it is, when whatever goes as a person to say Kol ma David Rachmon al Tavu David, it's easy to say when a person when I'm trying here to do something. Hold on. Why am I not? Okay. When you're being tested, whatever it is that you are actually, that you believe in, comes the Maisa and the Nisayan. This is when a person has Emunah, has Bitochen, doesn't have Bitochen.
Yeah.
If it's,
I'll be right back.
I don't think that anybody wants to give any kind of a different Marshall Gugma.
I heard once Pinkus,
Yeah.
he said that the difference between Emuna and Bitochen, Emuna is the halachas, the idea, and Bitochen is the maise. That's
Yeah.
why
It's exactly right.
Mhm.
This is exactly what we're saying.
Okay.
I think Emuna is a theory and Bitochen is the Maisa.
Mhm. Mhm.
When push comes to shove. Any other ideas, Horace? What comes to mind?
Yeah. I'm gonna try to put some heat on, if you don't mind.
No.
Okay. It's a wonderful it's a wonderful thing, but I want to try to bring a relevant muscle. We all just lived through the 7th of October, 8th of October. And I'm sure that everyone dug down and tried to find his equilibrium as far as Emunah is concerned, as far as B'tachon is concerned. And I'm sure Echad Amar B'Echad Amamit, we all felt in some place that we were grasping for the IDF, for America, for, I don't know, getting drunk. I don't know, whatever it is. But I'm
Okay.
sure that each and every one of us had some sort of like trying to, okay,
Fila.
as you said, Amuna, I have bitachon, but IDF lieta bitachon.
Okay.
Now I'm sure that we can go to Reish Pei Beis, Nakudas Taibis, and I'm sure that if we had 80% Amuna, 90% Amuna, then it's a lot more than Nakuda Taiba. If you want to find the bad part, then you're looking with the Ayin Ra to find the Chasaron, but for the most part, you have Amuna. But if Mashiach needs to come from Amuna, and the Geula needs, and all that needs to come from Amuna, I would only suppose that it needs to be certain special. Because listen, there's been Amuna, people have Amuna, we don't have Mashiach yet. Apparently, it's either some Amuna or it's either quantity or quality that hasn't happened yet. My question is, okay, so how do we take the next step? And a practical oifen. I'm sure davening is before and after everything. The Rebbe is always, even the Rebbe says the Chassidim say davening, the Misnagdim say learning, I say davening and learning and davening, but it still means that there has to be a method. There has to be a step. The davening is their stadless and it's our power, but there has to be something tangible which we can build our Amunah. And I'm wondering what the Rebbe says, or maybe some practical something of how to build our Amunah.
Okay. You actually said let me just see here. To remove. Okay. Here we go. We actually said this particular Nikuda before. Emuna, let me just find out where this is. Just give me a second. Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure how this is done. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see how this works. Hold on, just 1 second. Okay. Okay. So the fact that a person has a reader, or a person thinks that he has emunah and he has bitachon, and then he comes face to face with a situation where a person comes to the conclusion that he was actually kidding himself. I thought that I had emunah, I had bitachon, whatever it is, and suddenly I see that it's not so. The answer is, the tendency when this happens is for a person to say, I'm just a faker,
Yeah.
I was the illusion that I was like, Mr. Emuna, Mr. Bitocha, Mr. this, Mr. that. And now when I came face to face with, with a real life situation, suddenly I saw that I'm a big bluffer. It's golden nicht. I know it happened to me years ago.
I don't mean to I don't mean to interject, but that's exactly what I said. I said that I'm sure that Chas v'shalom, I don't think that I'm ungefragt. I don't think that I'm mufrach, that I don't have emuna. That's not the thing. Or my darga in emuna. My question is, we all have our limitations. Our emuna is up to a certain point, and there are people with higher levels of emuna.
Okay.
What is the practical exercise? If it's in limud, if it's something, I don't know, to build our emuna, other than tefillah, I'm sure, I'm just saying, no question. Tefillah is the beginning and the end of when it comes to it. But is there something, let's put it this way. There is no way that we can quantify practically, did I daven enough? Did I not daven enough? That's not something that we can quantify. We can do our best and daven, and we'll reach wherever we will reach. My question, if Rabbeinu gives a specific thing which is quantified, which is something which is maybe it's very egotistical that I want to have this sense of accomplishment, but as they say, when you're on a diet, what helps you lose 50 pounds is when you see that you lost 10 pounds. And maybe, cheshbon and nefesh is something which is the best way to do it, but for the most part, cheshbon and nefesh is every day and every minute is relative to where you are and what you're going through. It's very hard, to actually say, okay, here I made steps or I didn't make steps. But if it's a maisa, if it's an avoida, if it's a limud, if it's something, then that's something which I can say, okay, I sort of, I crossed the T's, I dotted the I's, and I still have to keep on working, but I'm just whatever. I don't mean to cut you down. I just
No, you're not cutting me down. You're not cutting me down at all. This is not the this is it's you're saying me'achuz, akol beseder. There's no problem with what you're saying. The way that the person works on emuna is, David HaMelech says, "Leodia emunoscha befi," to talk dibure emuna, just to keep on talking dibure emuna. Everything is be'ezrat Hashem. Everything is be'ezrat Hashem, and to keep on, fake it till you make it. It is the dibur of a person that leads a person. You keep obviously tefillah bevadai, but the main thing is to claim emuna, to talk dibur emuna. It feels when you're doing it that you're like using slogans and you don't really mean it and so forth and so on. But the point is that you have to understand any kind of emuna, for or against, real or false, is lemaisa a form or a result of quote unquote brainwashing. That the person is basically my emuna, me, raising and growing my emuna is done through me brainwashing. Partial brainwashing myself continuously. I believe this, I believe that.
it coincides. It coincides with, I think the Rambam says, and I think when it comes to chinuch, is that the emuna that someone has when he's young is karev to oinus. Says it's not something that you really have. It's once you, I think it's I don't know if it comes from the murder, but I heard this from a Moshe Shapira, and he said that the emunah that you have when you're a child it's karev l'oinus, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're indoctrinating someone, and he's basically being brainwashed.
That's right,
and
that's absolutely right. It's absolutely right, because you have to understand that the body the gashmius of this world is so powerful that even when the child is his emuna is kveyochel beoinus, because his parents are pumping it into him. This is only up to a certain age. When that child grows and the hormones, are circulating the body, and they're putting up a fight to all the indoctrination from here to kingdom come. Emunah needs all the help in the world, because what we see in this world is the chitzonius, that's the outside. We need to talk dibura emuna and to convince ourselves in emuna. And talking to Kadosh Baruch Hu is the biggest strengtheners of emuna. I heard from Reb Tzvi Cheshin that he said, Rabbeinu said in Torah Beis Kutam Aran, Chelik Aleph, he says that that tefillah is pishnaim. It's a double-edged sword. Sheyesh bo shivcha shel mokom v'shel asrochov. There's the praise of Kodesh Baruch Hu, and is asking Kodesh Baruch Hu for a person's need. And he has a aura into this Inyan, and he's saying that Shivcha Shel Makom, praise Kodesh Baruch Hu, is your greatest need. And at the same time, asking a Kodesh Baruch Hu for what you need is the ultimate Shivcha Shel Makom. By asking Kodesh Baruch Hu for what you need, you are building your emunah. You are praising Kodesh Baruch Hu. So these are the ways: talking emunah, asking Kodesh Baruch Hu for what you need. These are the builders of emunah. And be very, very careful to stay away from leitzanos. Even saying things, even just to be funny. That chas v'chalila keneged emunah, it's poison. It's sumerav asetov. The fact that nobody is perfect. Okay, that's the name of the game. I mean, not only are we not perfectly ma'aminim, we also not perfectly not ma'aminim. I mean, when we catch ourselves that, suddenly when reality, slaps us in our face and we see that, that we were kidding ourselves, being convinced that we have this immovable emunah, but that's also a lie. It's also a lie that we we are total fakers, that we're total lies. That's not true. It's also sheker. The thing is that a person, when a Kodesh Baruch Hu sends such a thing, like he sent to us on October 7th, it is to be mechazik our emunah. This is bir emunah. You're allowed to be afraid. You're allowed to feel that your emunah, your blanket of emunah, is not covering. It either covers your head or covers your toes, but it doesn't cover both at the same time. It's okay. It's okay to be afraid with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. It's okay, to feel that you rely on koichevot semyodi of the IDF. Beseder, a person is supposed to make ishtadlus. Where does this thing go? It doesn't matter. When am I going too much to this side and when am I going too much to that side? Don't worry about it. You know that you have emunah in Kadosh Baruch Hu, you have bitochen in Kadosh Baruch Hu. We already saw that just for a couple of hours, that Koichev Otzim Yodi of the IDF was taken away. Just a couple of hours. 1,500 people, died horribly because of that. You already see that the whole thing is a miracle. The fact that there is an IDF, the fact that we exist despite everything, in on itself is kulo nisim, is kulo ashgacha pratis. When am I actually going overboard this way or going overboard this way? It doesn't matter. Lo nitna Torah l'maloch hasharis. You do the best you can. You speak emunah. Say, I believe everything is emunah. You talk to Kodesh Baruch Hu and you ask him. You ask him for proper emunah. Ask him for proper bitochen. That your hashkafa will be straight. And how much is not really up to snuff? How, when am I actually not really having bitochen? The emunah is like, it's fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it. There's no need to worry about this. It's fine. As long as your way is like you're wondering, what am I going to do with my emunah? What am I going to do with my bitochen? You're on the right road. Okay?
Wow. That's a good answer.
The only one I have. Okay. So this was the first shot on a discussion. What I will try to do, Blined, I try to start to find the text of Eitzos Mevoaros. I don't know. We'll see if I will be able to do this. Maybe, perhaps, to share on the Shurim thing. The text for next week's chapter 2. So we can look at it and maybe come up with some thoughts, some questions, some whatever. And we'll see how it goes. So I want to thank everybody here.
Thank you very, very much, Yishar Koach.
Beseder Gamur. Of David, of Rami, all of you. Rabbi Wise, Without Hashem, we'll meet the same time, same place, Bli Neder, next week. Batzlacha b'kol.
Wow.